So, you want to learn to code? Right? Awesome. Well, there's one thing, one single idea that everything else is built on. It's the absolute foundation of all programming. And today, we're going to master it. We're talking about variables. So, let's just start with a super simple question. Think about any app on your phone, right? How does it remember your username? Or, when you're playing a game, how does it keep track of your score? How does any program remember anything at all? Well, the answer is just one simple, really powerful word: variables. That's it. They're basically the memory of every single program you've ever used. So come on, let's take a closer look at how these things actually work. Okay, so what is a variable, really? I mean, it sounds kind of technical, but the concept is surprisingly simple. And trust me, it's the foundation for literally everything you're ever going to do in programming. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a labeled box. That's it. You give the box a name, and then you can pop something inside it, a number, some text, you name it. That label, that's what lets you find the box later. The program can just go, hey, open that box and see what's inside. At its core, that's all it is, a container for information. All right, theory's great and all, but let's be real. The best way to understand variables is to just make one. So let's see how you can actually create and use these containers in Python. Let's get our hands dirty. And this is one of the things you're going to love about Python. It's so simple. You don't need any special commands or anything fancy to create a variable. The very moment you give a value to a name, boom, Python just creates that box for you. Okay, look at this. In the first example, we're telling Python, hey, create a variable called x and stick the number 5 in it. Easy. In the second one, we're making a variable y to hold the text John. Now that equal sign, it's not about math here. Think of it as the assignment operator. It's how we put stuff into our container. Okay, so now that we've stored stuff, let's see how we get it back. When we tell the program to print x, it goes and finds that box labeled x and shows us what's inside. And there it is, the number 5. Same thing for y. It grabs the text John. And just like that, we've successfully stored and retrieved information. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now for something that is one of Python's most powerful features. This is something that kind of blows the minds of people who come from other programming languages. It's called dynamic typing. Now just let that sink in for a second. This is a total game changer. What this means is that in Python, that box we created, we can not only change what's inside it, but we can put entirely different kinds of things in there over time. And this is the perfect example. Look, first, our variable x is holding an integer, the number 4. But then, in the very next line, we assign it a string, Sally. And Python, it just handles it. No problem, no complaints. The exact same container that held a number now holds text. That right there is the power of dynamic typing. But what if you don't want all that flexibility? What if you need to be really sure that a variable holds a specific type of data, like always a number? Well, Python's got you covered. It gives you that control through a technique called casting. It's basically your way of telling Python, hey, I want you to treat this value in this exact way. Let's break this down. See that first example? We wrap the number 3 in str. That tells Python, treat this like text, which gives us the string 3 in quotes. Next up, int3 makes sure it's a whole number, an integer. And finally, float3 turns it into a decimal number, or a float, which is why we get 3.0. See? You're in control. Oh, and here's a quick pro tip for you. If you're ever scratching your head wondering what type of data is actually in your variable, just use the type function. Seriously, it is an absolute lifesaver when you're trying to figure out why your code isn't working. All right, let's switch gears a bit. We're going to cover 2 quick but super important rules for naming your variables. Getting these right from the start will save you so many headaches down the road, I promise. First up, a question that trips up a lot of beginners. Should you use single quotes or double quotes for text? The simple answer for Python is it doesn't matter. Both work exactly the same way. The only key is to just be consistent in your own code. Okay, this next one is a biggie. This is non-negotiable. Variable names in Python are case-sensitive. That means a lowercase a and an uppercase a are 2 totally, completely different variables. They can hold different stuff because Python sees them as 2 separate containers. So just burn this into your brain. Case matters a lot. And there you have it. In just a few minutes, you've learned what a variable is, how to create one, how flexible they are in Python, and the key rules for naming them. That's huge. So let's put that new knowledge to the test, shall we? So I'll leave you with this challenge. Based on everything we just went over, what's a correct way to declare a Python variable? Think about the equal sign, the names, the values. If you can answer this, you've officially mastered the single most fundamental concept in all of coding. Seriously. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.